Good morning, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks so much for dropping in. Thank you for being a viewer, subscriber, member. We really appreciate everybody that drops by. So, global investments, that is, investments made or spent, money spent on the Philippines in the way of industries, all right, sectors. The numbers are in for 2024, which is nice that they got them out early enough. It's only February. It's actually February 18th. That being said, they are very, very surprising, and there's a huge drop. How does this matter? Where does it matter? Well, you know what? Let's talk about it.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, we're going to show you the article. It's got very specific details, and that's a little bright. Let me turn that down just a hair. We're going to show you the details, and then we're going to show you there's some surprising news in this, actually. Either way, so the Philippine Statistic Authority, they've released the 2024 numbers for global investments, and it is a huge drop. Let's take a look at it, just see where we're at with that. There we go. So the article reads, Philippine grapples, and we're going to do this again as we generally do, which maybe it's in your sidebar or not. Philippines grapples with 39% drop in foreign investment in 2024 as global appetite wanes. Now a 39% drop is big in 1 year. In 1 year, that is huge. So I think what we have to do is we have to sort of pay attention to where and see why they're saying why. But 2023 should have been 2024 should have been a great year for global investments. I mean, if you read the Philippine news, they've got all this money. Well, there are some problems here. There's some big problems. And one of the problems you have to understand, some people talk about the bond market. And the Philippines says, the Banco de Centro says, you know what? We're meeting our target when we sell bonds. Well, that's because their target's low, because their yield is low. Their bond market is not great. So you don't see people doing that. But then you talk about individual infrastructure type things. So let's take a look. So the data from the Philippine Statistic Authority, that's not me, I didn't make these numbers up, this is from the PSA, revealed that foreign investments from January to December 2020 totaled only 543 billion pesos. All right. Whereas that same period in the previous year was 889 million or 889 billion pesos. That's a big drop. Now, it goes on to say several countries reduced their investments in the country. Germany investments fell. I can kind of understand that. The Netherlands fell significantly. All right. Japan fell, but not that much. And Japan's been, kind of ponying up to the table here recently. Singapore took a big hit. All right. And France took a huge hit. China and Taiwan both cut their investments in half. But here's what's interesting. Here's what's really interesting. And part of it doesn't surprise me and part of it does. South Korea went from 134 billion, went to 100.34 billion from 1.52 billion in 2023. That's a monster increase. The South Koreans are putting tons of money. They're replacing the Chinese. They are literally replacing the Chinese, and that's good for America. That's good for globally Americans. Okay. Switzerland, though, was the surprising one to me, and I don't know why. I had breakfast the other day, and a guy sat down. Was out at Tequila Reef. A guy sat down. He was next to me, and he was from Switzerland, and he told me about everything. So then it dawned on me. The Swiss are really active here in the Philippines, and I did not realize just how active they are. But they went from 37 million to 289 billion. All right. Now, we could go through all of these issues about where they fell, electricity, gas, steam, air conditioning, all saw massive declines following. All right. Similar trends were observed in information, communication, agriculture, forestry, and fishing. Okay, well, let's look at it for a minute. Let's think about it. First off, communications. AI is replacing call centers left and right. The number of call center jobs that have been lost to AI and that will continue to be lost from AI just escalates. There are literally, from our balcony, 3 buildings that have a mall on the first 2 floors, and the rest of it was designed as call centers, practically vacant. Never came to fruition. Now, out in Clark, a lot of call centers, that's for sure. All right. But you got to build shit in order to need stuff. Electricity, gas, steam, air conditioning. Well, if you're not building, and we're not talking about like those window units or split airs. You're talking about monster HVAC systems for buildings. All right. But, and then we have to include, it was a bad year for agriculture, the weather calamities, the typhoons, the heavy rain, the terrible rainy season, the earthquakes, the everything that goes along with it. Now, fishing just does not surprise me. The Philippines will fish something to death, and they quite frankly have. It says some sectors partly offset these declines. Transportation and storage surged from 2 to 14. Accommodation. So tourism was up. Accommodations, food services, all right, all those types of things. It surprised me that manufacturing increased. That did surprise me as well. I don't look at the Philippines as being a big manufacturer. Perhaps maybe you could educate me on that. And it was in the fourth quarter that a big piece of that drop took place. So, with all of that being said, I think probably the most important piece or aspect of this was that Filipino investors represented 84.6% of the total approved investments in the 2024 fourth quarter. Now, there's probably all kinds of reasons. There are reasons beyond me. I know this. Tourism went up, but it did not hit its numbers. In fact, that's one of our upcoming videos. It was way off. No, numerically not way off, but in the scheme of things, way off. Okay. In addition to that, you've got all of these other parts and pieces to roll together. What does it mean? How does it impact you? Well, if foreign investments drop, opportunities for Filipinos become limited. All right, let's just face it, they've got to have some opportunities in order to earn a living, create an economy, and everything that goes along with it. So, with all of that in mind, how does this, impact things? Well, you're seeing the peso changing, you're seeing the impact of the global economy. All right, you're seeing all kinds of things, but what we're not seeing, I can tell you right now, what we're not seeing is excessive development, um, excessive expansion. We see projects that have been in the works for years that are slow, miserably slow. Okay? It's just all there is to it. But these investments, I don't know. For those of you that understand this better than we do, and I'm sure many of you do, then tell us why. Why does it matter? Is it something we as outsiders should even take into consideration? Is it, does it predict a path? I'm not sure. But anytime something's down, I have to think about, this could be negative. We'll see. Maybe it's positive. I don't know. Otherwise, look, your comments, thumbs up, subscribe, comment. We appreciate it. Have a great day.